Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and our favorite guest, as always, is joining us on a Monday to break down the weekend in sports. Jason Cameron. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
It's going great. It's going great because of the mere fact we have never seen back-to-back weekends of playoff football like this. Ever. 6 games in a row decided by 3 points. 6 games in a row.
Yeah. Amazing that it's come down to the last play of all these games and being so close. One game was touchdown, so they got the touchdown in overtime with Kelsey, but all these other ones decided by field goals, and the parity of the NFL has never been better. I know that there's been a lot of people that wanted this, and they've got their wish this year. There was so many upsets, so many teams going in, number 1 seed getting knocked off, incredibly tight games every single game. It must be just a dream for Roger Goodell and the NFL.
Yeah, they must be over the moon over how this all ended up. Like, just literally for the mere fact of you had to go through COVID, you had to go through all of this stuff, and then for it all to culminate in some of the best football anybody has ever seen. Unbelievable. You must be like, oh, nailed that. That's awesome. Don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Yeah, it's so great. I love this sport, always have. I started getting critical of it at times over the years. I've had some criticisms about the sport this year. I really didn't like the taunting rules, didn't like a lot of the stupid rules that they seem to have. I've never liked the overtime rule, and we almost saw a gain when the Chiefs got that overtime rule or overtime coin toss win again. It was like, oh my God, 2 weeks in a row. This is crazy. They're going to just march down and kick a field goal and win the game here. Did you think, that's it, 2 weeks in a row, they're done?
Oh, yeah, of course, because it happened just the same way as it did against the Bills, where they didn't get a chance to pick heads or tails. The opposition did, and they got it wrong both times. So it's almost like the Chiefs are like, no, you can go ahead, pick. Oh, you got it wrong. Oh, that's too bad. Now we're going to start.
But the tables were turned. Chiefs had the ball. They started marching. It looked like Mahomes got a little greedy, and he threw it up to Tyreek Hill, got knocked away, intercepted. The Bengals got the ball and were able to march down and kick the winning field goal. I was surprised at the play calling for the Chiefs. I thought they would have just, methodically marched down the field, short little passes, little runs, and just been able to score. But it seemed very weird after the Chiefs came out of the gate. They got touchdowns on the first 3 possessions. They only got a field goal in the next 8 possessions. It was pretty bizarre how things just turned around.
Yeah, I would say a couple things happened. Bengals defense all of a sudden locked them down, just locked them up in the second half of that game. And then the other thing that happened, the Chiefs' momentum was stymied because of the fact of how they entered halftime. All of a sudden, their momentum was utterly gutted because they wasted the opportunity to get points before halftime. I think personally they should have just kicked the field goal and been happy with that, but they got greedy. And I think that greed cost them.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah, it was that was such a turning point. You didn't really think it was going to be something that big, but it turned out to be huge. And I don't know what was said in the locker room, but the Bengals just believe in themselves. This is the first team that's been able to be last in the whole entire league, and 2 years later make the Super Bowl. Complete transition, turnaround. Joe Burrow, obviously number 1 overall pick. First time a guy's been able to reach a Super Bowl, being number 1 pick 2 years from the time he is able to bring his team back. What a remarkable turnaround for this organization. And I think that most of the people that aren't, necessarily Rams fans are going to be cheering for the underdog Bengals. What a turnaround. 33 years since they've been in the Super Bowl. Many horrible years. They only won 4 games last year, and they turned this around and made the Super Bowl. What a Cinderella story.
It's a huge Cinderella story. And yes, a lot of people love the underdog story, which is what the Bengals are completely in this Super Bowl run, and their run to the Super Bowl. Like, nope, there is in no shape, way, or form I thought the Bengals would win this game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was not in the Bengals corner. I just didn't think it was going to happen. And especially with the way that the first half went for the KC.
Yeah.
As I told you, I was ready to change the channel. Well, I'm like, all right, Kansas City just going to run away with this game. This game is kind of over. I'll watch a little bit of the second half. But if they score again, I'm out. It's just going to be a slaughter. I'm out. And then that's not what happened in the second half. That is not what happened. The Bengals flipped the switch, turned it right around, and Burrow he orchestrated an offensive explosion for them to come back. I give Burrow all the credit in the world for dragging his team back into the game.
Yeah. He seems cool as a cucumber. He seems to be able to just, face any adversity. They've come from behind a lot this year. They've been able to, utilize their weapons and overcome deficits. It's been incredible. If he wins the Super Bowl, he'll become one of 3 guys that have ever won a national championship in college and the Super Bowl. Do you have any idea who those other 2 quarterbacks would be?
Oh,
I can give you a hint.
Okay. I'm just gonna throw one out there. I don't think I'm right. Kurt Warner is one.
No, not Kurt.
They're
both guys first name Joe, so we could have 3 Joes doing it.
Oh, Joe Montana.
Okay, you got that one.
And I don't know who the other one is.
Broadway Joe. Joe Namath.
Yes.
It's kind of an amazing stat. I would have thought a lot more guys, would have had that success in college, won the national championship, being drafted high up, go to these franchises and win a Super Bowl. But it's only happened twice, and Joe Burrow's trying to become the 3rd guy to do it. All Joes.
Yeah, and that's the weirdest thing, that every single one of them could be potentially Joe.
So weird. The other thing that blows me away is that he's the only guy to be able to do it in 2 years. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because they go to the worst team in the league, team that needs rebuilding, needs a lot of tools, has a lot of problems, more than just the quarterback. But he's it's amazing that the Bengals have been able to go from 2 wins 2 years ago, worst team in the league, 4 wins last year. He only won 2 games last year before he got hurt, and then be able to come back from a pretty massive injury and take this team all the way.
Yeah. And with that injury that he did suffer, it was massive. Like, it could have possibly derailed his career, depending upon how he rehabbed said injury. But he came back better than ever.
Yeah.
And then now, from all of that struggle and strife that he went through with the injury to get back onto the field, it all culminates now to him being in the Super Bowl. I bet that dude couldn't be happier with the work that he put in.
Oh, it's so great for them. So, yeah, Mixon had a great day. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They seem to really be double teaming Jamar Chase. So T. Higgins stepped up. He had 6 catches for 103 yards. That run by Samaje Perine was phenomenal. Nobody was expecting that. That was a really good play call. He was able to go 41 yards and score that touchdown. That was huge for that team.
Oh yeah, that was massive. That was their turning point right there, with him doing the run like that, and then also on top of that, in overtime, with Von Bell doing the interception.
Yeah.
But it was that quarterback that managed to stay with Tyreek Hill and deflect the ball. That was amazing.
That was incredible. Yeah. They were able to shut down Tyreek Hill. He never got a catch in the second half. He had 7 catches for 78 yards and a TD in the first half. And then they were able to somehow completely eliminate him from anything for the second half.
Yeah, they locked him down. They basically, I think, the defensive backs in the secondary said, we're just not going to allow that guy to beat us. All right, we're going to take away one of Mahomes' weapons. And you could tell that Mahomes, as he was scrambling in the back there, running for his life, just going, got to try to find somebody. He couldn't find anybody because the secondary had locked up his receivers.
Yeah, that's probably the best I've seen the Bengals play defense this year. They were really great. They put a lot of pressure on Mahomes, but they also had great secondary. Guys were not open. The one touchdown that Mahomes threw to Kelsey was just a miraculous play trying to get away from that pocket and find that open space. But I was really blown away how impressive Cincinnati's defense was from the linebackers, the linebackers and the secondary. It was amazing.
Yeah, like Mahomes has an extraordinary ability to extend plays, but the secondary would not give up on busted plays. They stayed true to their commitments on the defense, and they would not let the receivers get loose.
Yeah,
it would not. And
the only thing that hasn't impressed me about Cincinnati this whole entire season has been their offensive line. They've really had struggles there. They allowed the most sacks out of the NFL on Burrow. He was sacked a ton in the playoffs already too. He's been having to scramble for his life. Luckily, he has that athleticism and can get out of the pocket and find his guys and scramble for yards. But that offensive line is a really big Achilles heel. And coming up against Aaron Donald, we haven't talked about the Rams yet, but coming up against Aaron Donald, Von Miller, that line, I think they're in serious trouble.
Oh yeah, like you thought you had it rough before. Yeah, now you got to play the Rams, and their defensive front they're coming for you. They're coming for you, and Aaron Donald being one of the best defensive players, period, in the league, one of the strongest players in the league. Yeah, they're going to have their hands full. They're going to have their hands full.
I think that Aaron Donald is the best player on both these teams. He's the best player, bar none, in the Super Bowl. I think he really brings that X factor to the Rams, and I think he's going to be the difference. I think the Rams are probably going to win this game because of Aaron Donald.
Yes, I think he's definitely going to be a difference maker back there, along with, I would say, Jalen Ramsey, to be ball hawking, waiting for Burrow to make a mistake, just a minor mistake on his side of the football field so he can go for a pick. So, like, Burrow's going to have to be very cognizant of the fact that Jalen Ramsey is floating around back there and not try to challenge him too much unless he's sure.
Yeah. We haven't touched much on the other game. Let's talk a little bit about it. San Francisco roared out to a lead, had a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter. That was the Rams actually overcame the largest deficit ever in NFC Championship history. The previous time was the Seahawks against the Packers. They overcame a 9-point deficit in 2004, but even in Sean McVay's tenure, I think that was the first time that he's ever won a game down by 10 going into the fourth quarter. They were able to rally and come back, but the final nail in the coffin was Aaron Donald putting the pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo. He threw a sort of a sidearm pass to his receiver. It was tipped right into the hands of the Rams defender, and that was all she wrote. But yeah, a good comeback from the Rams. Niners looked really strong throughout this game, but they let them back in it and blew the game in the end.
Yeah, they let them back in it. They blew the game in the end. And the 49ers could have easily won this game if their safety had just made that interception.
Oh,
and it was a gimme. It was right there. And he went, you did. Oh, come on, man, catch that ball. I'm telling you right now, that cost the 49ers the game.
Oh man, it was so in his hands. Like, they must just be. Everybody must be just thinking about that all day. If you're a Niners fan, Jaquiski Tart. He had it. It was
Tart.
there,
Yep.
and then no, it's not. That would
He
probably
had
make
it.
a good. That would probably make a good meme for Butterfingers, because yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, how did I drop this?
Yeah, it was amazing to me that the 49ers had it.
Yeah.
They actually had this game.
Yeah.
Like they had it. But at the end of the day, there was a certain receiver on the other side for the Rams that said, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to show everybody that I'm the best.
Yeah.
And it's time for me to show up. Cooper Kupp, 11 receptions, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better than that.
First guy to ever go over 2,000 yards receiving, a regular season and playoffs combined, 20 touchdowns this year, Triple Crown winner, MVP, in the consideration for MVP. Everybody knows he's getting the ball, but doesn't matter. You can't shut him down. You can't stop this guy. Another 11 catches. Man, he's on another planet. He's become by far the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, he's bulletproof. He's automatic. All Stafford has to do is I just got to get the ball in his vicinity, and that's about it. And then he'll take care of the rest.
Yeah. The Rams went all in this year. They really pulled off a lot of deals. It was actually the 1-year anniversary yesterday of them getting Matthew Stafford, trading Jared Goff to the Lions and getting him 1 year to the day. That's kind of a cool anniversary for him, being able to finally reach that. He had never won a playoff game in his first 12 seasons. 0 playoff wins in his first 12 years. Goes to the Rams. He's won 3 already, and he's favored to win the 4th and get a Super Bowl in his first year. So nice to be able to get out of Detroit, the purgatory of the Lions. You join the Rams, and bam, you're in the Super Bowl, and you got a good chance to win it all.
It's kind of like, you know what it is for Stafford? It's kind of like Shawshank Redemption, where he had to climb through a sewer filled with feces just to get out clean and get to the Rams. That's what Stafford did.
Yeah. Good analogy. Good description. Yeah, man. Jesus, imagine 12 years he had to go there, and they could never put anything together. And he just gets out of there. Another guy that got out of there, got out of a really bad situation, came to the Rams, has been shining, is Odell Beckham Jr. He also had a fantastic game on Sunday, 9 catches, 113 yards. And, now they got these 2 weapons that are very, very hard to stop. It's really made them a juggernaut.
It has. And I was going to say this. The Bengals are actually somewhat lucky in the respect that Robert Woods is not there too as well.
Yeah.
Like that would just be another weapon that they would have to deal with. So they got lucky on that respect. Yeah. But I'm super impressed with Odell Beckham Jr. He just showed up and said, I'm just going to do what I can to help the team. And he has done that. He has been the foil to Cooper Kupp, and he's played his role well. I've talked to you about this before. If only there was a certain other receiver that had done that for his quarterback. Oh man, what was that guy's name? Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
He could have been literally in this position too as well.
Yeah.
But he decided to do Antonio Brown stuff. It normally doesn't work out well for him.
Yeah, geez. Yeah, no, he could have helped Tampa Bay be in this position and the Super Bowl, and his meltdown has caused lots of problems all over, and maybe the end of his career, maybe the end of Tom Brady's career. Why don't we take a time out? And I texted you on the weekend saying, nope, Tom Brady is retiring. He's going to make the announcement. And then he came out today on his podcast and he said, no, hang on a second, guys. I haven't made any announcement. I know that people want to jump the gun and get the story out there, but hey, I have not made the decision. I'm the one that's making the decision. So unless you hear it from me, there's nothing official. He said it's going to come soon, but when I first texted you, what did you say? What you're like, okay, yeah, I guess it's time.
Yeah, no, I just assumed, yeah, I guess it is time. But I have also too, I have to remember that reporters like to just, jump on stories, even if they didn't hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's something that's a problem in our current day of media, where things will come out. Rumor has it, or I've heard from sources. What source? Was it Tom Brady? Was he the source? Is that who you heard it from? He's the only guy that could actually say it and say, "Yeah, I guess I'm done." Right?
Yeah.
So, and I love the fact that he's on his own podcast and he basically says, "What's going on here? Who said that? Who's spreading these rumors? It's not me."
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I definitely put some caveats saying, reports have been made. I didn't want to be feeling like egg was on my face and, oh yeah, he's retired, because nothing official, but it just became viral. It blasted all over the place, and everybody's like, yeah, okay, yeah, he's done, and everybody just treated it as gospel. But I loved hearing today that he said, no, guys, no, wait, still haven't made up my mind. I'm gonna talk to the family. I'm gonna sort it out, make my decision, and you'll know when I know. So
yeah, and let's be honest, he still got it. Like he's literally, he was like the best quarterback in the league. Like Jesus, like what are we talking about here? Like the guy's 44 years old, led the league in touchdowns and passing yardage, and wow, okay.
Yeah.
So and if he hangs it up like that, where it's like, so I guess he wasn't that good in his last year. It's like, no, actually, he was the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah. He's amazing. He's a marvel, and I'd like to see another year of him. He's treated us to something incredible. Love to be able to tell people, when I'm in my rocking chair, when I'm in my 70s, 80s, 90s, wow, this guy just played until, late 40s, was still the best quarterback in the league, won, this many Super Bowls. It was just, something to marvel at, because I do love talking about Michael Jordan. I love talking about Wayne Gretzky. I love being able to talk about a lot of the greats in a lot of the sports. And I think he still has it. Why bother leaving? I know, family's important, but I was saying to Larray on the weekend, you only play one game a week. You can be around your family a lot. You practice a couple hours a day. You can be around your family for sure. Every home game, you probably travel on Friday or Saturday for road games. So you're away for, a few weekends of the year. They only play 17 games. Like, he has to miss about 8 weekends, out of a year. It's really, you're still getting to see your family a lot, I think.
And the other very, very important factor to factor in for Tom Brady, he's got a great offensive line. He doesn't take too many sacks.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hit that much.
No,
he really doesn't.
Yeah, this year he barely got touched. So yeah. He said his wife hates it every time he gets hit. And I get it, but he doesn't take much abuse. They really made sure they've got a solid line that takes care of the breadwinner there for that organization.
Yes, and that's something that the Bengals may want to look into to protect their breadwinner, going forward forever.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Okay, let's just do a breakdown of the two teams that didn't make it in the Super Bowl. Chiefs went to the AFC division championship 4 years in a row, only won one Super Bowl. Has it been a bit of a failure that shouldn't they have won maybe more Super Bowls out of this really great window that they put together with Mahomes? Is it a big failure not being able to make the Super Bowl again this year?
You know what? It's so hard to make the Super Bowl. And number one, and number two, I'm sorry, I don't see it as a failure because they won one. it would be more of a failure if they did it like the Buffalo Bills back in the day. That would suck
Yeah.
big time, but
Yeah.
that's not what happened. At least they got one.
Right.
So if you get one out of all those times that you've been at the top of the mountain, I think that's not a failure. What that does show is that you got some longevity of excellence going forward with your team. And if you can continue to do what you're doing, to keep getting to the top of the mountain, AFC Championship game, if not the Super Bowl, then that's good. That's
Yeah.
really good for the organization and for your players.
Sure. Okay, what about the Niners? I don't think many people expected them to be in that NFC Championship game. I think they played above their heads. Jimmy Garoppolo, a lot of people are sour on him now. They don't think he's got what it takes to lead a team all the way. But this Niners team, if they would have made the Super Bowl, that would have been 2 out of the last 3 years there.
Yep.
I think it was a pretty successful season for them.
Oh, hugely successful, because there's no way that anybody thought they would make it to the NFC Championship game. I'm sorry, man. There's just, unless you're like the biggest 49ers fan, which obviously there's a lot of you out there, but other than you, nobody else thought that you would make it to the NFC Championship game. Now, going forward for the 49ers, it's going to be interesting on who they want to headman that team, because the rest of the team is that good.
Yeah.
They've proven that. Now, could this, I'm just going to throw this out there. It's the thought. Could this be a stop for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Could it be?
Yeah. I saw some post game reactions from Jimmy Garoppolo, and he got quite emotional. Basically was talking like that was it. His time's done in San Francisco. They've got Trey Lance as the heir apparent, the guy that they've been trying to groom, but he hasn't really impressed me much. He hasn't really looked like he's ready. So maybe they make a play for Aaron Rodgers and try to bring him in with the team that they've assembled around him. I think they could go far.
Yeah, they could, because they've shown it. Like, the team is really, really good. Really good. Like, it's almost the same situation as Brady had when he walked into the Bucs, where it's like, oh, so all you guys need was a quarterback. Look at that. I'm a quarterback.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. The best person that emerged from the Niners for me this year was Deebo Samuel.
Yes.
He was, such a great wide receiver, but all of a sudden they started using him as a running back too. And that touchdown that he scored in this game was phenomenal. He scored really a lot of electrifying TDs this year, and he's definitely, to me, going to compete for an MVP trophy at some point in his career. He's that good.
Yes, he is that good. And what they've shown with Deebo is that you just have to make sure he gets the ball in some capacity, in some way, either from receiving punts, kickoffs, running the ball from the back, like whatever it takes. Just got to get that guy the ball, and then he'll take care of the rest. He's that good.
Yeah. I've been impressed with Eli Mitchell. I've been very impressed with Brandon Ayuk as well. George Kittle had a bit of an off year, but did score a touchdown in this game. But I think offensively, defensively, this team's very solid. And yeah, if they go with Trey Lance, they probably have a year or two to go. But if they make a play for Aaron Rodgers, yeah, I see this team competing for a Super Bowl definitely 1 year from now.
Yeah, if they manage to get like one of these stellar QBs that is going to be available, Rodgers, Russell Wilson, somebody like of that caliber,
yeah.
Well, the 49ers won't have to wait too long to get back to the top of the heap.
Yeah. Their kicker, Robbie Gould, perfect in the playoffs, 21 for 21, just automatic. They didn't suffer any significant injuries, and they look good. On the Rams side, I was really shocked that they suffered 3 injuries really quickly early on in the game. Cam Akers, Tyler Higbee, and Van Jefferson were all hurt in this game. I guess a couple of them were able to come back and and play a little bit later on in the game. But man, that was quite the blow, and must have really shocked their offensive coordinator, losing three of their top offensive players early on.
Yeah, yeah, because that it's definitely something that you don't really plan for. Maybe one guy, possibly two, but not three.
Yeah.
Not three of your studs.
Yeah, I hope they've got 2 weeks to recover and get fully better. I think that's one good thing about the way the NFL puts a week between the championship weekend and the Super Bowl. I think it's great that they'll go in as healthy as they can.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes sense because you want the best players to play in the Super Bowl. So you try to give them as much time as they can so that they can get as healthy as they can before they play the big game.
For the Bengals, they lost tight end CJ Uzomah early on. He's got a sprained MCL in his knee, but they say it's not as serious as originally thought, and they think he's going to be available for Super Bowl Sunday, which is big news for them because he's a good weapon that they utilize quite a bit.
Yeah, he's a great weapon. He's a fantastic tight end, and I'm sure if he can get on the field, he's getting on the field in one way or another.
Do you think this is a huge advantage for the Rams playing their home field? There's going to be 80,000 fans there, but typically in the Super Bowl, there's fans from all over the country. But do you think this is a massive advantage for them?
I think so. Like, didn't the Bucks have that same advantage when they played in the Super Bowl? Yes, I believe it to be an advantage. I really do. Okay. Like this, the fact that it's in your home stadium and you're going to have your fans there for the most part. Yeah. Big time advantage.
I watched a couple of movies recently. I was thinking about this a little bit yesterday when I saw Sean McVay, and Sean McVay is the youngest coach in the NFL, has been for years. I think he likes his airtime a little bit too much. I think he's sort of a GQ guy that wants to have that perfectly coiffed hair. Really seems to be loving this LA lifestyle. I'm thinking that actually he made some big mistakes yesterday. He challenged a couple calls that were obviously not going to go in his favor. I think his ego and the things that he puts on the sideline actually could be detriment to this team.
Interesting. Well, I would hope that he won't let his ego get in the way of the biggest game of his career. Yeah. I would hope that, but I do understand what you're saying. Yes, there were some questionable things that he did in the game, but at the end of the day, they did win the game. Yeah. Right. So we'll see if he does anything more that's detrimental to the team. But I would like to think that he won't be doing those things because it could cost him everything. So
yeah. I was thinking about who would portray him if the Rams win the Super Bowl and they make a movie out of this. Who would portray him from Hollywood?
Oh man, I'm thinking of Bradley Cooper.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's a pretty good call. Yeah. I watched Sean Payton. He was portrayed by Kevin James. I just watched that movie this past weekend. Do you think he would have been happy with that portrayal?
No, of course not. That guy doesn't look anything like me. He looks like he ate two of me. All right, that's great.
And then Kurt Warner is in a movie right now. It's called American Underdog. Zachary Levi played him. I'm not sure if he's happy. I saw an interview with the both of them at the same time, so at least they're getting along enough to do a co-interview. But yeah, it's kind of funny how these quarterbacks and these coaches are starting to have movies made about them, and just made me think about Sean McVay. I think he likes his image a little too much. I think he should concentrate only on the game.
Yeah, well, yes, obviously, for sure, because that's his job. at the end of the day, too, he's an LA lifestyle, like you said. He's out there. He's known. He's
Yeah.
got his fans out there. It's nice.
Yeah, I guess it's yeah. We'll see. We'll see if he's a detriment to this team or not. But Rams are favored. They're supposed to They're supposed to win. Their home field advantage and all that, like you say. But yeah, don't count the Bengals out. A lot of people have really lost a lot of money this year not betting on the Bengals. I think I actually heard. I thought today 125 to 1. I heard after work today 150 to 1 if you would have bet with certain organizations earlier in the year. 150 to 1 odds to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay. The only people putting down money like that are real Bengals fans. Because yes, it should be 151 because nobody would have ever thought at the beginning of this year that they would be in the Super Bowl. Come on. No, nobody.
Do you want to make a prediction?
Oh man. Okay. I want to say this. I think that the game is going to be close. I would love the game to just follow along the path of all of these fantastic games that we've had so far.
Yeah.
Somebody wins by 3 and it comes right down to the wire. Now, who's that team that could win? Okay, I made a bet with our coworker at work, Tony. I think I'm taking the Bengals. I can't even remember what the bet is. So I'm gonna, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna say it here first. Bengals win by 3.
Okay. Wow. Oh, great prediction. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it would be amazing. It would be great for that city, great for that organization. They've been able to buck all the trends and all the odds, and I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled this off.
No, I wouldn't be shocked either because they beat the Chiefs. They beat them, and they beat the Chiefs when in overtime they won the coin toss. Yeah. We know what the Chiefs do. We just go down, we score, and the game's over. And that's not what happened. They flipped the script on them. So the Bengals are for real. Like they're that dark horse team where you're just like, I don't know. They could, they could do it. So let's see.
Well, I'm glad you didn't change the channel and make sure in the Super Bowl, even if they're down, don't change the channel. Don't give up on them. We've seen crazy things happen this whole season. Super Bowl 28-3. We'll never forget that score. This could be a really great Super Bowl. I think it's going to be an offensive great game, and I'm excited. 6 games in a row, ending on the final play. You can't get better than that. We should just have a Super Bowl that ends the same way.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm hoping for. I don't think it's going to reach the level of what we saw with the Chiefs Bills, but if it can come close, I'm going to be a very, very happy NFL fan.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Okay. Today is January 31st, last day of the month. We are about to start the shortest month coming up here, February. It almost it's almost summer. That's good. Pretty exciting. I gotta mention that it's Renata's birthday today, a friend of ours. Happy birthday, Renata. I hope you've had a great day and I hope you have an awesome evening.
Yep, happy birthday, Renata, for sure.
There was some big news this past weekend in the world of podcasting and broadcasting alone. Joe Rogan was named the face of Spotify earlier last year, was given a massive contract to be the number one guy. And he has been taking quite a few hits recently for his very opinionated commentary and stuff on his podcast. And he decided, he was going to back a lot of different things. And the Canadian musician Neil Young decided he didn't want to belong to an organization that was going to make Joe Rogan the face of the company, I guess. And he said, pull my songs off of Spotify. I don't want to be represented there anymore. Were you surprised at how big this is sort of percolated and become such a big story now?
I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised by what Spotify did, which was, okay, we'll just pull your music. See you later. Because you want to know why? They just gave that other dude $100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to stay.
Yeah.
You can go. Got no problem doing that.
Yeah. I guess it's been pretty massive. A lot of people have bucked out of Spotify. And yeah, I was surprised at how many people have backed Neil Young. And but yeah, you're right. That $100 million. We were talking about Howard Stern a little earlier, and the money that satellite radio gave to him, Sirius XM, was able to move him across. Big money in the podcasting world with Joe Rogan. I think that shocked the world when Spotify said 100 million. But yeah, when you become big and opinionated, I guess there can be some backlash there. And yeah, Neil Young was the latest guy to say no, he doesn't want to be part of it. And they said, okay, see you later. Good luck.
Yeah, he was the one to say that. They said, okay, see you later. But I believe that they did take a hit in their stocks, like a tremendous hit.
Yeah.
So
absolutely massive. Yeah.
Massive hit. Like I want to say it was like $2 billion.
Yeah.
Which is that's no joke. That's no joke.
No.
But at the same time, maybe Spotify is looking at it and saying, that's a massive hit from now, but it's not going to last.
Sure.
We will recoup all of that money in time.
Yeah.
Because like time heals all wounds. People have very short memories. Don't forget, they'll come back.
Yeah. I remember during the Euro Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo sat down at a press conference table, and there was a couple of bottles of Coca-Cola in front of him, and he just took them and he just moved them to the side, and Coca-Cola's stock plummeted by like a couple $2 billion like that day. And I'm shocked that these people have this much influence over stock prices, and it can change the whole value of a company that quickly over, moves like this.
Yeah. And I'm sure Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't even aware of it. He was just like, I don't want that. That's all. That's probably all he wanted. He just says, I'm not interested in that. And also too, it's in my way as I'm talking to people. That's it. That's all he was probably doing. It didn't even give it a second thought, right?
Pretty stunning that, that just a move like that could create such a ripple and change the stock prices that fast.
Yeah, exactly. Like it, you have to remember these people are like, they got a lot of fans, they're influencers, people follow them, people listen to them. And so with that being said, they have power with their words and what they say.
Yeah. Okay, why don't we talk a little bit about the NBA? Lots of great basketball over the weekend. Tons of fun to watch for me. I got to see, some really good games. The Raptors played a phenomenal game on the weekend, beating Miami, triple overtime. Man, that was a hell of a game. They won a game tonight, and they're playing really well. They've moved up into 8th place, and this is a fun team to watch. I'm really enjoying watching the Raptors this year. They've decided to have all their players about 6'7" to 6'9", and just be fast, trying to crash the boards and have guys be able to switch defensively, offensively, all around. I'm really enjoying the way that their style of game has been able to produce pretty good results this year, and it's been fun team to watch.
They're scrappy.
Yeah.
They don't give up on themselves. That's the one thing that I really love about the Raptors this year. They're in every game. They fight to the end. And that's something that Nick Nurse has coached into them. They just don't give up on themselves. And I really appreciate watching the Raptors go to work and do exactly that. They may not be the best team, obviously, but they just don't give up. They will fight you to the bitter end. and that's great to see.
Yeah, they beat the Hawks tonight, 106-100. Hawks had won 7 straight games coming in, and one of the hottest teams. I was really impressed. Gary Trent Jr. has been really lights out lately. I think he's got 4 or 5 straight games with 30 or more points. Really has come into his own after getting traded for Norm Powell last year. He's had a couple injury troubles this year being out, but since he's come back, he's looked like one of the top guys on this team for sure.
Yeah, since he's come back, he's looked fantastic. So has Pascal Siakam after he came back from his injury. Yeah. He's looked fantastic, and Fred VanVleet has just been fantastic the entire year.
Yeah, all their starters on Saturday, they played into triple overtime. It was the first time in NBA history that 5 guys had played more than 50 minutes. It was unbelievable. They barely used their bench the entire game. I'm going to pull it up in a sec, but I think it was 56, 56, 55, 54 minutes. All these guys are playing, and they still looked as good later on as they did early on. Like you said, a very scrappy bunch.
Yeah, very well conditioned bunch, very scrappy bunch. And like I said, man, like the one thing that's really impressive with the Raptors this year is that they just believe in themselves and they just keep fighting, regardless of what's going on in the game.
Pascal Siakam that night had 57 minutes. Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent Jr. both had 56. OG Anunoby had 56 minutes. And Fred VanVleet was slacking only 54 minutes in that game. Incredible. Absolutely amazing that they could play that well against one of the top teams in the East, the Heat, 32-18, 32-17 going into that game. And man, I loved it. I was blown away. It was really, really fun game to watch. And, you could count on those 5 guys being on the court the entire game. It was really, really, really great.
Yeah, it was awesome to see. Awesome to see the passion for the game from all of those players, and the fact that they could do that all of those players had the gas tank to last literally 2 games being played back to back.
Amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. Okay, let's look a little bit more into the Eastern Conference. The Bulls are tied with the Heat up on top. They're both having a great season. We've talked about the Bulls quite a bit. I watched a bunch of their games recently too, and DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Vucevic, those 3 together. That's another big 3 that really, could be somebody that we see in the NBA Finals come June.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then also too for DeRozan for his first time being a starting All-Star.
Yeah,
and like that's a huge feather in his cap. Nobody thought that DeMar DeRozan had this still in him at this point in his career.
Yeah,
and he has shocked everybody, including myself. There was question marks on how he would fit with the team, and the GM that has put this team together has put this team together beautifully. It has worked like magic.
Yeah, sure has. Yeah. The other team I want to mention is the 76ers. They won their 6th game in a row tonight. They are only half a game back of the top 2 teams. They won tonight without Joel Embiid, who was sitting for rest. Nice to be able to still keep it rolling, even though your big guy's not even in there.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that Joel Embiid, without his running mate, so to speak, and Ben Simmons is just like, okay, well, he doesn't want to play the game, so that's fine. The team is now my team, and I will just go forward. And look at what he's done. Look at what he's done. He's made it so easy for the organization to say, oh, you don't want to play? That's cool. You can say, just sit at home then. We're good.
Yeah.
Because Joel Embiid has been that good.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, he's MVP level season again. A team that's on the outs right now was competing for the top of the conference for a long time, but only 4-6 on their last 10, 4 losses in a row. The Nets seem to be lost and sinking fast.
They're spiraling because their super duper superstar and KD is out and he's injured. And I kind of thought if you lose that guy, just that guy, you might have some problems because I don't know. It seems to me that Harden is maybe still playing himself into shape. I don't know what's going on there. He's eating a lot, but and then Kyrie is just, well, he's only a part-time player. He only plays road games, so you can't really depend on him either. So, yeah, the Nets are not good right now, and then also too with Harden being out with his own injury, the Nets aren't what they're supposed to be right now.
Yeah.
They just are not.
Two of the teams that I'm really loving to watch right now are the Cavs and the Hornets. Those two teams are really fun to watch. I don't think anybody expected the Cavs to be as good as they are. They're 4th in the East, and the Hornets, really emerging team, super fun to watch. I know Charlotte's always been your favorite team, so great to see them finally back. And being one of those teams that it's if they're on TV, you want to watch them. You don't want to miss out.
Yes, they're super exciting to watch. They're just a great team to watch, especially with LaMelo Ball just wheeling and dealing back there in the backcourt with his crazy passes. They're just a fun team to watch. And then Miles Bridges with his amazing dunks, awesome team to watch. But then with the Cavs, Darius Garland has been absolutely awesome this season.
Yeah,
it's been absolutely fantastic. And with their new rookie Mobley, been fantastic, especially on the defensive end. For a young rookie to be that good defensively, to be a game changer, is you just don't see that too often at all.
No, yeah, it's been remarkable and awesome to watch. Yeah, I'm glad they're so quickly they're relevant and they're becoming one of the teams that are on the big rise for sure. Let's switch to the Western Conference. The two teams that have been top of the conference this entire year are starting to separate themselves from the rest. Suns and Warriors. Suns have won 10 in a row. Warriors have won 7 in a row. The Warriors just beat Houston again tonight. Both these teams are becoming really, separating from everybody else. The two elite teams that I think we're going to see in the conference final this year is health, has to keep out. But I don't know if any team's going to be able to come and compete against these two.
Well, they're just showing their just how much better they are than everybody else in the league right now at this point in time. And I'm so impressed with the Warriors that they're able to keep winning. And Klay's not at his best yet.
Yeah.
We'll get there. And Steph is actually going through a shooting slump, and they're still winning.
Yeah.
They're still finding ways to win. So once those two guys, they're two Hall of Fame guards, get their shit together, my goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness, watch out.
I know, I'm excited. Can't wait. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer for Klay. Draymond's been hurt. Steph's in a little bit of a shooting slump, comparatively, but
comparatively,
he's not shooting lights out like normal, but they're still winning night after night after night and having a lot of fun doing so. The Jazz are in trouble a little bit right now, 5 in a row losses. Gobert and Mitchell have been hurt. Also, I heard Joe Ingles torn ACL, gone for the season, just announced today. So injury woes are really hitting them hard, and they're 4th right now. But if they can't get some of these guys back, they're going to sink very, very fast.
Yeah. You can't win in the NBA if you are missing pieces to the puzzle. You're missing key guys in your rotation, in your starting lineup. It is almost impossible to keep up with those guys being out. We'll see what they can do, but losing Joe Ingles is a big blow to that team. Huge blow.
Nuggets are playing great, won 5 in a row. Nikola Jokic is MVP-like performances lately. He's just been absolutely super dominant, and I think that team's gonna past the Jazz, probably past the Grizzlies, and get up into that third, fourth position in the conference.
Yeah, and they're still waiting for their all-star guard Jamal Murray to come back from injury. And hopefully he can at some point in time still for this year, hopefully. But that's one of the things that you're just not going to rush him back at any point in time.
Yeah. And then at the bottom, competing for those play-in games, Lakers won that play-in game against the Warriors last year. It looks like they're going to have to play it again. The Clippers and the Lakers occupy the 8th and 9th positions right now.
Yeah, who would have thought, right? But now the Clippers are missing their 2 stars. George is out. Kawhi is still out.
Yeah.
And now LeBron, I believe, is out with like knee soreness or swelling in the knee. So, yeah, our 2 LA teams are not looking good right now. Not looking good whatsoever.
No, quite surprising. Don't think, very many people would have picked them to be 8th and 9th. But yeah, that's the reality. So, okay, that was fun covering a little bit of the NBA. Why don't we talk about the UFC? There wasn't a card this past Saturday, but we've got UFC Fight Night coming up this weekend. The main event has Sean Strickland and Jack Hermanson. Number 6, Hermanson, and number 7, Strickland in the middleweight division. Should be a great battle. Strickland's won 5 in a row. Hermanson's won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1. But this is a really great matchup with clashing of styles. I think it's going to be really, really fun to see who's able to emerge.
Yeah, it's definitely, just as you said, it's a huge clash of styles. And I think this fight will come down to who can impose their style over the other fighter more so. Like that's what it's definitely going to come down to. I am intrigued by this matchup. Yeah. I am very much looking forward to watching this main event because I just want to see how it plays out between these 2 men.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah, I think it's such a great matchup. I'm glad the UFC decided to put those 2 together. And yeah, I'm super intrigued and cannot wait for it to be a good main event. Tell me about some of the other guys on the card that you're excited about.
Yeah, I'm looking at the I guess Smiling Sam Alvey and Phil Hawes. Yeah. I think that could have potential to be a very good fight in the main card. Because I think those 2 will just literally attack each other, see who falls first. Yeah. Possibly. That's always a fun fight to see. And yeah, that's the fight that I'm looking at in the main card. And then in the prelims, I love our Canadian Dawodu. Dawodu is fighting Trezano. I'm looking forward to that fight. I want to see how Dawodu approaches Trezano. I'm rooting for him because I really love the way that man fights.
Yeah, we've got 3 Canadians on the card. Also, Marc-Andre Barriault is fighting, and Alexis Davis. So well represented on the card. I love Dawodu, and he's such a fun fighter. I've seen live many of Marc-Andre Barriault's fights. He's a little hit and miss in the UFC, but yeah, we'll see. We'll be able to see 3 Canadians and cheer them on. And yeah, it's going to be a fun card. Tons of prelims fights. But as you mentioned earlier, we're seeing COVID troubles as well as weight issues a lot. So expect this card to change a little bit. We saw it last week with the pay-per-view, and it seems to happen on every card. You're excited, getting ready for a fight, and then, oh, no, that one can't make it. We've got to shift guys up and put late replacements in. And yeah, I'm expecting no different this week.
Yeah, and I'm expecting that to be status quo for quite some time. Fights dropping out, fighters changing, all of that sort of stuff. It's just the way it is for now.
We're only a couple of weeks away from the big Adesanya Whitaker fight. Whitaker's chomping at the bit, wants to get his opportunity again. Adesanya has been the class of that division, but do you think Whitaker's going to be able to change his game enough to give Adesanya a run for his money?
He better, or else it's going to be the same result as last time when Adesanya beat him. I have a feeling that Whitaker might wrestle him more this time around. That's what I have a feeling. I have a feeling that he may try to play with him on the feet for a little bit, but then if he starts to really get picked apart by Adesanya, he's going to take him down immediately.
Yeah.
I think Whitaker's approach to this fight might be more grappling heavy than he ever has before.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that would be a good plan of attack, and we'll see. If Whitaker's been able to pull it off. Adesanya's been tough, but he probably needs to be shown the ground a little bit more to give Whitaker a chance. There's a lot of great fighters on UFC 271. Happens Saturday, February 12th. The Black Beast is at it. I love this Cannonier Brunson fight. I think that one's going to be a fight of the year candidate, definitely early on. Bobby Green's on the card. 271 looks pretty stacked.
Yeah, 271 looks great. Always love watching Mr. Bobby Green fight, and he's going up against a game opponent in Hakparas. That could be a fight to watch.
Yeah,
could be a sleeper hit.
We've got Andrei Arlovsky, the feature fight in the prelims, and it's going to be awesome. So, we've got Hermanson Strickland next week, and then UFC 271 a couple weeks from now. So, UFC's back and great. It was kind of smart probably to take a week off, so guys can take their wives out for dinner and do something on Saturday night normally for the family, but now we're back at it, and I think we've got cards straight out for the next 42 weeks. So poor wives won't get any Saturday night dinners out for a while.
No, because we're just going to do some Uber Eats. We're going to order in so I can watch my fights.
Yeah. So, man, this was great as always. The weekend was amazing for those football games. Really excited, and 6 games in a row. You've mentioned it a few times to me today. It's incredible that the NFL's been able to pull this off and have such teams that are so close together that it comes down to whoever has the ball last is going to win.
Yeah, and it's just been so unbelievably awesome for the fans to watch, to just be treated to these amazing football games, weekend in and weekend out. Like I can't remember a time where I've enjoyed watching football as much as I have this year.
Yeah. Sunday we got the Pro Bowl. Let's hope that these guys can keep their together in Vegas and just go and have some fun there, play a game, and then keep out of trouble. But I'm not putting any money on it. I think we're going to see some arrest maybe.
Yeah, it happens in Vegas. That's what they do.
Yeah. So, okay, man. Well, look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for doing this tonight. This was a blast as always, and can't wait to see you a week from now doing it again.
You betcha, man. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And we will see you tomorrow, my friend, for sure.
All right. Cheers, man. Good night.
Cheers. Night.
Okay. Well, thanks, Jason Cameron. Always a pleasure. Always a great way to start our week off, doing the podcast, breaking down the weekend sports. And I want to mention Renata again. Happy birthday. I hope you had an amazing day. And thanks to all our listeners and our sponsors and partners. I want to mention Anchor FM. Easiest place to make a podcast. Just go to Anchor FM and you can do it. Jason and I are doing here. I want to mention Verbero, the hockey equipment and apparel company, industry leader in technology, performance, and value. V350 stick is a must-have if you're a player or know a player. Pampas and Possibilities. They design West Coast pretty things and can help you with your home, making it look really great. As well as Forever Living, the aloe vera company, for health and beauty products. Thanks as always to them. And thanks for sticking in. Appreciate you watching and listening. And yeah, lots of big things coming for the Complete Media Network. Go to our website, completesportsmedia.com or completemedianetwork.com. Lots of great things there. So love you guys lots. Take care of yourself and have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.